When you become teachers, which is number one, don't bypass you becoming teachers and try to teach. That becomes hypocrisy. Because you'll be empty and you are telling people they should do this, they should do that. Why are you doing it? Because you want to get something from them to fill your space, the emptiness in your own self.
Let's go. Whatever lost my peace. Let's go. Whatever lost my love.
Let go.
Let's go.
Whatever blocks my joy.
Lost my joy.
I am peace itself.
I am peace itself.
I am love itself.
I am love itself.
I am joy itself.
I am joy itself.
That is what I am.
That is what I am.
Please. Yes, you are all welcome. Beloved brothers and sisters, and I mean the words beloved. It is not like sometimes people meet, they say good morning, and they pass. But they are not even thinking about the words. Because one can speak and say good morning, but he's thinking something different from good. So when we say beloved brothers, it is deep. Because you are brothers and sisters. When people have the same parentage, then they can say brother and sister. But then, everyone is from the same Great Spirit. Therefore, we are all brothers and sisters. We're not talking about earthly parentage. So, then the word beloved, that is also deep. Because I have to see myself in you. So, you must be beloved. Everyone wants to be loved. But if you see yourself in the other person, then you love yourself, and yourself is inside the other person. So you love the other person. But the subject is something we will come on when we come to the main message. The introduction is the first thing. Today we are here, and when we get together like this, there is a purpose. What is the purpose? We want to position ourselves well to render service to the world. That is the purpose. Is it necessary to position yourself before rendering service? Yes. In the local language, there is a statement. Se kwatre kwaso obema ontoma tienidi. If somebody who is not wearing clothing tells you that he will give you clothing, then you yourself, you advise yourself. So we need to wear clothing before we give clothing. That is why it is necessary to position yourself well before you do service. What you are given, you must have it. It is hypocrisy when you don't have and you are trying to give. It's nuisance. But lo and behold, everyone has, but some don't even know what they have. That is also another thing. So we are here together, and the purpose is to position ourselves well. So within 14 days, we're going to do that. But Grace Spirit has arranged it to happen within 12 days. When we came to rent this place, then Grace Spirit had already sent some people to book the last 2 days out. So it became compelling that it has to be 12. And you see the number? It has meaning. These things don't happen by accident or chance. When the higher moves into the lower frequencies, it brings about orderliness, and everything conforms to something. Things are not happening anyhow. They all have meaning. And after the 12 days, do you see the mystery? The impartation will be on the 1st. And we will have 29th, 30th, 31st to prepare. How many days? 3 days. You know the meaning? Now you understand. You see? Nothing is accident. Everything is according to laws. Beloved, sometimes I want to give appreciation to most of you who have done so much to let these things happen. Everything is done by the Great Spirit, but individuals become channels. And once you become a channel, you don't remain the same, because He fills you up and the overflow becomes service. Becoming a channel, you shouldn't be empty and be moving about rendering service. All channels must be full to the brain, and the overflow becomes service. When it is like that, because there is no space which is empty in you, the service, you are not looking for anything from it. When there is space that you lack, then you render service because you want to fill that space. Are you with me? And that is not pure service. It's not pure. It is the pure service that changes the world. All the great names you've heard in the past, and their names continue to resonate, to go on, is because of pure service. You will leave a legacy in this world because of pure service. Great Spirit will always find a way to keep your name. Impure service, they can spread your name through the media everywhere. After you are gone, it's only 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Everything about you is gone. At most 1 year, they celebrate 1 year. After that, nothing is heard of you. But pure service is not like that. Great Spirit will ensure to keep your name, to keep your work, to keep your words. Even it can resonate, it can go on within your family circles, and the grandchildren will be talking about that our grandpa. They will talk about everything because of pure service. Even if a little pure service, it will do something. So, I want you that within this period of 12 days to be very, very open-minded. Because what you will be hearing, a lot will be very new to you. But truth is not actually new. But the presentation of the same truth from different angles to help particular time, place, and circumstance. different. Every situation is different. When I started speaking, that period is gone. Now I'm in another period. Then another period is coming. So, all the time, things are changing. And therefore, things of the past, they need to pass through change. Your body doesn't remain the same from babyhood. It grows. Everything that has life grows. When the life force is not there, there's no growth. So, if the human is functioning with free will, what it means is that the human can intentionally block his or her own growth. It is only the human who has been given that opportunity, whether to speed up, whether to slow down, whether to just stand at the same place. Every advantage, there is a disadvantage. Free will is an advantage, but it's also a disadvantage. A lot of people are disturbing their growth. The physical growth may be there. You eat every day, things your body is growing, but certain things are not growing. Spirituality should be made expressive, something to show itself, because growth follows a pattern we call evolution. So we shouldn't be the same from babyhood till the time we are leaving the world. When a baby is born, the people around the baby, they smile, they laugh, they clap, they are happy. But the opposite is happening to the baby. The baby cries. Now, birth, death, they are opposites, isn't it? So when you come to death, the thing should turn around. The people who were clapping and happy, now they cry. But the person dying should do what? Smile, be happy. That's the opposite. It should be. If it doesn't happen that way, something is wrong. The physical body can pass through things even at the time of living, but the blissful state should be there at that point. It is untouched. So one has to be in a blissful, joyful mood when leaving the world. Otherwise, it means the evolution giving you from birth to death, you didn't achieve. There's no fulfillment. Generally, people fear death and they see it as something very terrible. But the truth is this: when you get to that state of bliss, what is happening to your body is like something happening to your shadow. Does it affect you? No, no, no. Imagine you are walking around and your shadow falls on a burning bush or fire. You look at it. Do you panic because your shadow is burning? No, no, no. It's not your matter. What goes on with your shadow? So you reach the state you see yourself different from the body. You only activate it for service. You withdraw from it, it is nothing. So, it is our duty to grow. If we say grow, as far as spiritual is concerned, spirit doesn't grow, but it reveals itself. So you remove what is covering the spirit, and spirit shows itself. And sometimes we say spiritual development, but spirit doesn't develop. It is eternally what it is. Sometimes we will use it in speaking to people because of their level. See, people's levels, we talk, oh, you need to develop yourself, you need to, yes, on their level. But absolutely, you should understand. You are students of higher knowledge, you should understand. Spirit doesn't develop. When spirit is moving through the body, then these things start happening that we call growth. When it withdraws, no growth. Beloved brothers and sisters, so some of you have come from far, and in fact, some too had to struggle because your work. But there is something. It is a test of your determination. Great Spirit is putting a test on your determination. How determined are you? Some of you came all the way from overseas only for this program. That is amazing. That is great. In the material field, all attainment happens through sacrifice. You sacrifice time, you sacrifice energy, you sacrifice sleep. Some of you didn't have enough sleep today. I know. You see, it's a sacrifice. There isn't anything you attain without some sacrifice in this material field. But sacrifice can be in the wrong direction. Sacrifice can be in the right direction. If there is light and you are moving towards the light, your shadow falls behind you. If you turn your back towards the light and you are moving, then your shadow is no more behind you, following you, but you will be following your shadow. Isn't it? Because if the shadow is in front of you and you are going, so you are following the shadow. So, sacrifice, spending your energy moving, but the direction is wrong because you are guided by your shadow. And you turn towards the light, shadow is behind you. It follows you. The same way, this world, when the souls will descend, our shadow is the worldly energies, because you are spirit, and they are things which came from you. Spirit created all these things by slowing down the frequencies of spirit energy. And therefore, they are like shadow. And we go in for them, and they are leading us here and there. And we are moving in the direction of the shadow. What does it mean? It means we are lengthening the distance between the light and ourselves. The more you follow the shadow, you are going further away from the light. Now, if you turn in the direction of the light, you don't see any shadow anymore. So the world is giving us all these challenges, what we call karma, cause and effect. And as long as we are moving in that direction, we continue to be affected. You turn in the direction of the light, these things, they are no more in front of you. You have everything under control. See? So, as long as you are facing the light, even if you haven't gotten into the light and merging into the light or whatever, the fact that you are facing the light, you will not be seeing your shadow. You can stand in the zone where this darkness and everything, but you turn in the direction of the light, you will not be seeing the darkness. You are standing inside it, you won't see it. If you are in the room, a dark place, there is light outside, maybe through the windows, and you tend to look at the light. As long as you are focused on the light, will you see the darkness? No. Even though you are staying inside the darkness, but you are seeing the light, you are focused on the light, and that is the seeker. The seeker is still standing in the dark, but he's seeing the light. He focuses. The moment he stops seeing the light, he turns and he sees darkness. So the seeker should never stop looking at the light, and will be getting guidance to enter the light, the zone of the light, instead of staying in the dark. But it's a good step that you turn to look at the light, and then the seeking begins. Then you think, how can I position myself in the light itself? I'm still in the dark, but I'm seeing the light. Then I have to make some effort to go forward, isn't it? Yes. A lot depends on you. Yeah. The introduction I'll bring it to a point, and then we come to the main message. But I will let you understand something about the JCF, introducing it to you. It is the Jan Cosmic Foundation. Beloved brothers and sisters, what is Jan. There is something in this world going on. Many people are not aware. We call it synchronicity or connectivity. The two of them, they are happening together. Connectivity. Everything is connected to everything else because everything is coming from the same source. And it is confusing many people. If you take your time to make analysis, it is only you I'm teaching these things because I want you to become teachers. I want you to become teachers. When in the past, I will use some examples for you to understand. In the past, when Yeshua, that people call Jesus, it appears as if the humans are tampering with things. But at the same time, the Great Spirit is in control. That is a mystery. If he's in control, then even things which are tampered with, he uses it to do his own things. Especially Latin and French and so on. The Jesus coincides with the language. And most of you who know French, that's je suis. Je suis. I am. So, the I am that I am, I am. He's gotten to the stage of I am. And getting into that oneness with divinity. Even when people are naming things, they think they named it, but they don't know that the higher is in control at the same time. That is the mystery. I hope you understand me. When the Gold Coast was changed to Ghana, because there was an ancient country called Ghana, isn't it? And it was a prosperous country. Because of that, they wanted this country to be prosperous. So they call it Ghana. But see how it coincided with the mysteries. So some of the people were surprised when they could see the pioneer has his name adjusted into it. So it becomes God has appointed Nkrumah already. You see, the Ghana, but it wasn't due to that the name was made. But when it was made, always Great Spirit has something inside it. So humans think they are doing this, they are doing that, but he's also inside it. I hope you understand it. Anyway, there are a whole lot in the language. Very quickly, the Jan, the J is join. And the A stands for awakening. And the N is now. So you join the awakening now. And in our zone here in this world, this part of the world, the religious forces that are here, we have the Christian tradition and religion and Islamic. And the topmost name of God in that realm is Jehovah. So the J stands for Jehovah. And in Islam is Allah, that is A. And then you go to the Far East, it is Narayana. So it is Jan. Jehovah is here. Allah is here. And Narayan is here. Sometimes we come to the full name, some of it given by connections with the past and the traditions. Have the Jan goes along with Baffour, Kumi, and actually the J, the popular figure, Jesus. The Baffour popular figure, Buddha. And the Kumi popular figure, Krishna. They are all here. The jancosmicfoundation. Jan, Jesus. Cosmic, Christ. Foundation, follower. So, JCF, this is called connectivity, and it is done from high. Things you do like human, you are doing this, you're doing that, but the higher is always in control. I hope you understand. Yes. There are more things, but it's just a tip of the iceberg. Just want to. So we can move on. You are here. All the past is here, and the future is also here. So now is very, very important. You were given eyes, and the eyes always look in front. Behind is not giving you to see. You are to look from now, look ahead. Past things. What has gone this way. Let it go. You know Sodom and Gomorrah? Don't look back. Just look forward and put orderliness in your life and keep going. Yes. So, those of you who don't understand English, had wanted to speak both English and Cree. The idea is that Grace Spirit decided to begin things with you as you speak Cree. It's not accident that this thing has to pop up here, because majority in the country can understand some aspect of Cree. That is why Grace Spirit does everything on point. But you are to get filled with it, let it overflow, and let it reach out. So because of the reaching out, then we pick another popular language that reaches out. That is why we are working with that as well. And already we have people among us from the sub-region who don't understand the Cree language. And by grace, even though your mother tongue you understand better, somehow by grace, everyone knows a little bit of the English. That's why I'm speaking to you in English. Because after the program, the outreach situation will come on. And then we go beyond just Ghana. And some of the things we express will be on social media, and others are also yearning for the truth. Beloved brothers and sisters, so if somebody is sitting by you, he doesn't understand the English, you can silently chip in certain points to the person. This is what is being said. But the media team will help us so that some of the things I've spoken in English, they can do it with P, and then the P ones also they put English. In fact, it's my plan to change all the ones spoken in P into English, and those spoken in English to be changed to P. I have to have time for that. Of course, it's a challenge because I have to bring new things instead of just going. Already I've told you, going back is not something. It's forward. But what we can do is we can push those things in front, then it can be considered as Forward. Okay. Yes. Anyway. So I think the introduction, I'll put it here, then we come to the main message. So let's stand up. Just you can just stretch yourself. One more. One more. Please sit down. You see, in this training, the first thing, as I said, is that you are going to realize your true identity. And that is the central message, very, very important. Who you are. If you miss the definition of who you are, you suffer. Almost everyone defines himself falsely. And that is the cause for the problems. If somebody is a royal, and maybe from childhood, he was taken for travel for a long distance somewhere, and he's growing up, he has no information that he's heir to the throne. And then what happens? He goes about struggling. He becomes a hustler. He's hustling, because he defines himself in a different way, but in reality, he doesn't know it. So, this happens sometimes, that the time comes for the heir to the throne, the one to do it, and the elders will sit down. Oh, he's so and so. Where is he? Then they say, oh, he traveled a long time. Then let us look for him. Or let us look for her. And when they locate the person, they go and carry the person. And it's just like he's dreaming. Well, what is all this? What is all this? And they say, hey, you are the next king. You are the next queen. Say, what? because it doesn't fall within the definition of himself or herself. So in this way, the person has been hustling, struggling, and now he has to realize the true self. That all along, he was heir to the throne, but he never knew. Now that they push that into his or her mind, it takes a while before he even becomes, is it true? Is it me? It takes some time, isn't it? Yes. When you tie an animal to, let's say, a tree or something with a rope, if it takes a long time, it is used to that place. So when you come and remove the chain, sometimes the animal is still standing there. He sees the chain has fallen, but he doesn't even know it's free. Then you kick it. Go. You are free, go. He doesn't even know it's free. It takes a while. Then you push it a bit and it goes a bit. Then in the long run, he begins to realize that it's gone beyond the zone and it is still going. Then I say, wow. Then it stretches out. It's gone, you know. Yes. So this is what is happening to every soul. If you know who you are, you rise above suffering. Suffering is part of a world that has polarity, enjoyment and suffering. Everything has its opposite. But you who have come into it, you don't have opposites. You are spirit. You are balanced being. And for that matter, it takes time because it has taken time within the zone of polarity. And we have stayed inside it and become bonded, addicted. And we think that is the only reality. And now comes the message that no, that is not the only reality. And in fact, it is not even a reality to be called. It is illusion. The other day, last year, I was in UK. One of my trips to UK, one of the JCF students, a lady, she took me around London, some places, and she had something. She said, by all means, I should go and see. I said, yes, okay, let's go. Took me to a place, we entered, and then a lot of people were there, and there were certain apparatuses set around with earphone, special ones with certain goggles. Now you get seated, they put it on you, and you keep your eyes open. Then it takes you, all you see is that you are moving. You are moving, and a door opens. And then the door opens and you enter the door. It takes you. Then it takes you to travel. Then you see a whole lot of things everywhere. See the special creation that the human has made. You see, as below, so above. They've tried to mimic what the Great Spirit has done. So you are taken round. You see so many things. And it takes you to a place, you see some beings, some persons. You see some to the beach, and you see the ship, you see the boat, you see this, you see that. So many things going on. And all along, you move. You're moving. Now, when it finishes everything, then they off the machine, and you look. You didn't go anywhere. You haven't gone anywhere. I said, wow. You see? And this is exactly what is happening to the souls. Your spirit is one with the Great Spirit. You don't really travel. It is illusion. Like you switch on to dreaming. Just the same. In the night, you are at the same place, so lying on your bed. But don't you travel in the dream? You go to far away places. You go to your home, your village. You go here, you go here. Now you are waking. Oh, I'm in my bed. It's illusion. Oh dear. You see, it's illusion. So the external is illusion. The internal is also illusion. So, self-realization brings you to the point where when these things are happening, you still maintain a part of you awake so that you know the dream is a dream. You know, sometimes when you are dreaming, some of you have told me you have certain experience that whilst you are dreaming, you also awaken and see that you are dreaming. Has it happened to some of you?
Yes.
Yes. So the dream is going, they call it, now the science people have also known it. So they call it lucid dream. Lucid dream. That means while the dream is going on, you are awake to see the dream that you are dreaming. You see? So this is telling you clearly that the reality has nothing to do with all that is going on. It is only activating it to happen. But like a remote controller, you know, it's controlling all these things. But we get absorbed in the dream and we forget the reality. Like the one I was telling you about UK, when you are in it, there was one man, he's also from Ghana. We met there, and that day he joined us. to the place. He was seated in one of the places. He removed the thing because, like, where is that thing taking me? Yes. You couldn't. So, it's great when you can awaken spiritually and then you can see the dream to be a dream. You see the drama to be a drama. You see this world, what it is actually. You are not deceived by anything going on. And the mystery is that when you detach like that, there's so much peace. No panic anymore. No fear anymore. So you become a witness of what is going on, even to the extent that you have the power to control it. You see, that is the mystery. That is the mystery. Then you become a co-creator with a Great Spirit. That means He's doing some creative things through you. That's why I say you become a channel. You can't be a channel when the whole thing has taken you to the extent that you don't even realize your true identity. That's why you can't be a channel. But there is a pull off to some extent, and then from that angle, you can now see things clearly. Even things in the drama, how they are going to end, how things are moving, everything you see it. When you enter it fully, you don't know anything. And it's like, what next? What next? And you're confused. But you pull off, you see everything clearly. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Yes. So this is something all the great ones who have come wanted the people hearing to come to that state, to awaken. But sometimes they were misunderstood. Because addiction is difficult to overcome, isn't it? If somebody is addicted to drugs, is it easy? No, it's not easy pulling the person out. If somebody is addicted, what are the things we can be addicted to? Yeah. Now, the drama, we enter it and forget ourselves. We are so absorbed and it becomes like normal to us. And then every day, the routine, we are going through it. It's turning us left, turning us right. And when it goes left, we want to go right. It takes us left and we are just frustrated. You know, so the drama confuses. And we are very, very downhearted because of not being able to control the drama. Take this example. If you stand and you are turning round, won't you be dizzy? At some point you'll be dizzy, and before you realize, you are down. But imagine there is a tree or a pillar. You are holding to it and you are turning around. Even though there will be dizziness, but you won't fall. Isn't it? Most people, they lose the center. They think the center is external, but it's internal. When they define themselves, it is something different from the central thing. They don't hold on to the spirit. So everything is projected out, and for that matter, when it turns left, they are going left. It turns right, they are going right. So they are, then they become so dizzy. There must be the center to hold. That is why all the great ones, they come, and sometimes they're trying to give some kind of central object for them to hold on to. Sometimes they give themselves that hold on to me. And that is why sometimes they make it appear as if it is only them. Because if you divert your attention, you won't have a center to hold. Are you with me? But the greatest center is inside yourself. It's not necessarily that you should hold on to somebody's center as your center. But beginners find it difficult to understand that they are the center. So the teacher's mission, the highest mission of the teacher, is to help you yourself to hear the voice of your own spirit. So the guru or spiritual master is to lead you to the guru inside you. And that is the highest thing you can ever have. Initially, sometimes the teacher may call attention to himself because it becomes difficult for the people to understand. They have been addicted to things external to themselves. You see, outward, because of the five senses. The five senses connect outside. But that which powers the senses is inside you. And that is where the source of power is. But how many can understand it? So for very beginners, sometimes the teacher presents himself or he gives an object of worship because he wants you to focus. Hold on to some center, some central point. Then the dizziness may reduce. Are you getting me? Yes. But ultimately, finally, you have to be led to realize the center inside you. If that one is not realized, no matter what. Let me give you another example. The apostles of the Christ, they were holding Christ as a center. Isn't it? And because of that, some of the dizziness moved off from them. So when he was healing, they could also heal. They stayed in his aura. And they were feeling, now we have a center to hold. Are you with me? Now, when that center has to move, then, hey, we are finished. Things fall apart because of what? The center could not hold. And now the apostles, they realize, so what is our fate? What is our fate? And they got together. But it is the prompting of the Great Spirit pushing them. Get together, get together. They went together and entered a room. And then the Great Spirit was prompting them. Remember what the Master had been telling you in privacy. Apart from the public teachings, he was teaching them privately. So remember it. Every supper he had with them, he released some personal teachings. And now they started to see the need to do things that will bring the inside to be the center. So we haven't lost anything. Losing the Master, we haven't lost anything. He taught us how to actually hold on to the inner. So they had to do that. Practice 10, the vision, the 5 senses, which was outside, they turned it inward. Are you with me? The hearing was turned inward. The sight was turned inward. Everything was turned inward. And they did that, the various techniques that the Master had taught them. And then lo and behold, the day came that all the dizziness was gone. And like I told you this morning, now they were ready for a connection for higher frequencies to connect. Because like attracts like. You understand it? So when they have gone and brought the inside out, it connects the Great Spirit. Because Great Spirit, you spirit. You are also spirit. So the connection will not be there until you really bring it out. Then that will connect. If the inside is dominated by worldly energies, then it will connect you only to worldly things. When you open it out and the spirit frequencies come out, it connects you to the Great Spirit. Beloved brothers and sisters, so in this way, get one point. It took them 30 days to achieve that. Even though they walked with the Christ. It's a big lesson that it wasn't automatic that they had realization because they were close to the body of Christ. No. Because as long as when he left, they had fear, they had anger. You could see Peter taking a knife to cut somebody's ear. He was angry. Serious anger. They had fear. Because people were pointing at these people, are they not part of? They said, no. We don't know him. That is it. They were afraid. Everyone is afraid of death. But when that thing happened and the connectivity took place, no fear, no anger, no discrimination that these people, they are inferior. We are Jews. We are the only people for God, and they don't matter. No. Now they go everywhere. But before then, they wouldn't do that. They will even say if some people are not circumcised, they shouldn't hear the message of God. So many things. Belief systems. Unfortunate. But when that thing happened, they discovered the truth inside themselves, the realization, and their aura were boosted so much, and the light of divine connection. And anyone who opened his eyes saw the same with the other. He saw it with all of them. Isn't it the message? Yes. So when the person has realization, he's not the same anymore. When they were seeing that light upon themselves, when they went out, they couldn't see those lights on other people. So there is a difference when you have realization. I hope you are with me. We need to be realistic. So the master was not just making himself a figure for worship. It's one of the deviations. It was necessary for the apostles to use him as a center like a center of worship. But the absolute truth is not like that. You yourself, that which needs to be worshipped is inside you. Let it function. It is the same spirit you are looking into the skies to worship is inside you. So this mystery, unless one is not really a seeker of truth. If you're a seeker of truth, you'll resonate very well with the truth when you hear it. And when you have that truth, it will set you free. So, telling you these things, when we are reaching out to help people in this generation, we are being cautious in projecting ourselves as objects of worship because truth is coming to you. In the Ivory Coast, I went for a visit sometime after I did some big programs, and some people from Ivory Coast came to the program. Even before I came to social media, I used to do some big programs like that. And our banner, not knowing, they took all these things along, and some were having altar, and they have set it, and it's their object of worship. So one time I went on a visit there, and one was proudly taking me into his altar to see. And then he said, "Here, this is what I do every day." I said, "Oh." Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Of course, for total beginners, sometimes these things help them to have focus. You see, the altars and other things, they all help to give you focus. But ultimately, you should grow. That means, as I told you, spirit doesn't grow, but revealing the inner, the truth within you. Otherwise, you spend years and you are not growing. There is no doubt, Great Spirit has no limitations, so it can manifest a lot of an aspect of himself, even in a form. But it doesn't mean that one should have limitations about settings. I've told you this story before. The story was about Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was being worshipped by a devotee. And the devotee had an altar in his room. A very devoted person did all the worship. And sometimes the Lord responds through whatever means you are approaching him or her. Now, this man, one day, he traveled. He traveled a long distance away, like from here to Tamale. Now, whilst there, at a point, he was attacked by some armed robbers. And they had a plan. They were looking for somebody for sacrifice. You know, some of these armed robbers, they practice all kinds of things, and sometimes they want rituals and all that. So they took this man and they took him into the bush. They went very far in the bush. And then at some place they are camp. They have a camp. And at the camp, their master was staying a little place nearby. And they had where they do their rituals. So they brought a man there. And then at a point, they were waiting for their master. Message reached the master. The master came. Master of the armed robbers. He came. And then he was very happy they got somebody. So he said, wow, kudos to you. You have done great work. Now, this person, of course, he was very panicky. And his heart was beating like this. Then the master made a pronouncement that now no more play. Time is up. The ritual should begin. So they started dancing around their place where they will do the ritual. They will cut this man's head. And they were holding machetes, very sharp. So they were dancing around that place, and the master was going to give command, then they will kill him. Then this man, very devoted to Krishna, started calling on the name of Krishna. Krishna, save me. Krishna, save me. Krishna, save me. He called, and there was no sign. So these people, they were laughing. This guy doesn't know what is coming, and he's... So at a point, the master of the armed robbers ordered that now finish him. And then this man, he nearly collapsed. And then they just held him, about to cut his head. Then there was a flash of light, and all these people fell down. Now, when it happened like that, listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. There is a big lesson. Then this devotee asked Krishna. Now these people fell down, and then it was left with Krishna standing and the devotee. And exactly the form on his altar. Exactly the form on his altar. Are you getting me? And it was standing. And then he asked, "Oh, Krishna, so why you let them almost kill me before you came? I'm almost dead. Why? I call, you are not coming." Now listen to the answer and learn. If you hear the answer, you will learn. Then Krishna said, "Yes. You have traveled 300 miles away, and you always know me to be on your altar. So I traveled 300 miles. But if you knew that I'm nearer than your breath that you breathe, you wouldn't even have to say Krishna. Before you decide to say it, I have responded." I hope you understand. So when you set him apart and you apart, it is your mind. It is your problem. See? So one has to reach the level where there isn't that presence apart from you. Of course, beginners do these things. We permit it. We don't condemn. But I'm telling you the truth, that this happening reveals that one has to grow beyond just narrowing down. Beginners, you need focus. You need focus. So you narrow down so that your dizziness will cease. I hope you understand me. But the ultimate is already here. A distance. It's not in a distance. And once you have that realization, everywhere. In fact, when you are in that realization, that is the time you are truly in a church, in a temple, because it is happening right here. It's not a building. It's not separating out. Of course, beginners, don't condemn anybody, but I'm telling you, we must grow. You understand? Must grow. Even when the great ones, they know the truth, they still know. If people are in bondage, people are in class 1, you still have to deal with them in the way they do things. But you need to grow. And the mere switching on and the divine awareness, a whole lot will be happening. It's not time matter. It's not distant matter. It's instant. You get the understanding? Yes. See, when the Christ, he did this, sometimes I'm giving you these things with reference to these things because most of you were brought up in Christianity. That is why I make a lot of references to help you. See, the true Christianity is not what is going on. You don't understand the message. The master didn't want to be worshipped. It wasn't it. That's why he said, not those who say, Lord, 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 Lord. Those who do what will liberate them. You see, he demonstrated this to the only 3 of his disciples. He took them to a place in the forest, in the mountain side. And he said, stand here. And then he went forward. And the inside, he switched on the inside. It's like the light was visible to the disciples, the 3 disciples. I hope you are getting me. And he didn't want them to believe that only he has it. So on that level, when he thinks something, it will happen immediately. So he thought of Moses, and immediately Moses. And lo and behold, strong light around Moses. Thought of Elijah, and immediately Elijah. And the same light around them. So this tells you the teacher wanted them to know that it is only because he wanted them to gain a focus, not to divide attention. So he says, I only. But in actual fact, if you human being can have many children, but God has only one child. It's funny, isn't it? But the point is, it is the disciples who created these things. It's normal. You see, it's like that is their level of understanding. So they made everything appear as only him. And they wrote these things down even 32 years after he left the world. It was 32 years before they started writing. And they were obsessed about the master. So everything they wrote is just a master in the center. But that is good. In a sense, it is good. It helps people to dissolve their dizziness in this world because they gain focus. But that is not the absolute truth. The absolute truth, one has to realize his own divinity in the long run. So you become like the Christ. Are you with me? And you are a potential Christ without knowing. In one of the lessons I was telling you, the story of the prodigal son. If all are within the fold of the Great Spirit, and everything the Great Spirit has is yours, and the other person, everything Great Spirit has is also his. Are you getting me? Yes. So one goes away and says, I want as much for myself, and then go and enjoy elsewhere. Then Great Spirit makes the arrangement to make it possible, and he goes. Now, after some time, he realizes that all these things, they become what we call chewing the chewed. He's chewed the things that he has chewed, he's chewing again. And he became fed up. Like you chew sugar cane, and the leftover, the things, you take them again to chew. In the long run, you say, all the joy is gone. You see? So now he has to return, but he has difficulty. Hey, it is I myself who said I want to be away like this. I took mine, and now I'm in problem. How do I go back? But the story has a lot inside it. In the first place, Great Spirit, it is impossible for him to be angry. It is impossible for him to hate. It is impossible for him to be unforgiving. All those kind of things that Jehovah is like this and that. These are all part of the elementary kind of things. So the story that Christ was talking is that the Father, he is just waiting. Anytime come, everything, there is pomp. Everything will be meeting you to be in blissful state. If he comes back, is he going to discriminate and say, you, because you did like that, I'm giving you less? No, everything is for you. And the one who has been there all the time, everything is for him also. So none is greater than the other. Are you with me? So when you return, you are also a Christ. Come home, and there is no difference. When the realization is there, the same realization everybody will have. There's no competition there, so that one is greater than the other, one is happier than the other. No. Expanded happiness, full. That is what we call bliss. Peace, beyond understanding. The same for the 2 or 3. So, who is therefore, better than the other? All this hierarchy, like someone higher, followed by this, followed by that, is part of the design of the outer illusion and the inner illusion. These things are there. But of realization. See? Beloved brothers and sisters, So the main message is that your purpose here is to rediscover who you are. Your spirit has moved through different stages before you got the human body. Your spirit has moved through different stages before you got human body. And it is only the human body that gives you opportunity to return home. Beloved brothers and sisters, it's a great privilege you are in human body. Great, great, great privilege you are in a human body. But it can be delayed depending on misunderstanding of the whole situation. Depending on the addiction, how much addicted we are to this platform, worldly platform. You don't lose anything if you are realizing yourself. On the contrary, you get everything. You are looking for health, perfect health. You are looking for peace, perfect peace. See, you are looking for happiness, perfect joy. You see? So, it's a trick of the mind that if you lose hold of these things, then all the enjoyment is finished. It's a trick of the mind. That is a trick. And that is what is keeping us in bondage. But it's not true. Somehow, when you have the realization, you can even visit the lower pleasures, but you are no more in bondage. You are just a visitor there, and you come back to the full knowledge, peace, love, and joy. But if for some reason you have to go into the worldly energies, you go, but nothing can touch you. That means you can even go involved in everything, but unaffected. Because you are no more in the addiction. You are not addicted. Are you getting the understanding? For example, those of you married, of course, majority will pass through the marriage, and the body, physical body, will pass through some pleasures and so on. And the mind, objective mind, is addicted to it. The objective mind will say, let that repeat. Yes, that one. We want it more. So if one is getting it from drugs, then the objective mind will say, take more. Go on. Wherever you are getting it from, the objective mind wants more. If it is complete, will there be need for more? It's not complete. And people want it to become joined so that it will be complete. So if he's getting joy from food, you move on to joy for sex, joy for drugs. So they set the whole thing so from one to the other, because they want the joy to be continuous, but they can't get it. Because if it is joy from food, you become full, now you can't eat again. Joy from sex, after that you are down. joy from this, after that. So gathering all together, so from one to the other, from one to the other. And that is what people try to do. So from alcohol, the feeling from alcohol, then it jumps to smoking at the same time. From there to this, from there to that. But when it's like that, it means you have made the world your home. Are you with me? But it's not the home of your spirit. It's a visit. And you'll be compelled, if you don't do it voluntarily, consciously, if you don't pull out and have your spirit at re-home and then visit. Don't make their home and visit the spiritual. Spiritual is your home. And then you visit the worldly. Please, you understand? It's the opposite. It's not like don't have anything to do with the world. No, that is not the point. Secure yourself first, be at home, then go into the world with power, with control. The world is your subject, and you are the king because you are high frequency, and these things are low frequencies. Don't enter and be confused and they dominate you. Understood? Yes. So the message is quite clear. Self-identity must be changed. And the true identity will change everything in your life. No more cry. And that is what is promised to people when they say you go to heaven. Yes. So when you attain that realization, you are already in that heavenly state. Nothing external affects that inside, but you rather will affect everything. I've taught you these things. Now, this 12 days training that you are going to go through, you are actually not going to be the same at the end of it. Dear, beloved brothers and sisters, yes, when we come to the topic of destiny, you will see that when you are just a small light bulb, then the owner of the house will place you in the room. But if you become a big bulb, he will take you to the whole compound and fix you to shine the whole compound, isn't it? So your destiny changes when you let your aura shine. Yeah, beloved brothers and sisters, when you're passing through a lot to be here, always you need to take rest a little early so that getting up early you will not be too tired. You have done very well because most of you getting up so early, but you are still very alert. That is a proof of your determination to hear. When you get so much understanding, then when you are growing, the understanding is going to boom. It's going to increase more. It goes side by side with growth. That means when your spirit is opening out, then your understanding is also opening out. When the spirit is being covered more and more, then people can't understand anything. People are on different levels. Don't look down on them, because as prodigal sons, if you reach home and they too come and reach home, you are the same. So all this holier than thou and all those things, don't get the proper understanding. This is the reason the Christ said, if you are to follow these things I'm teaching you very well, you do greater things than I came to do. Why did he say like that? It is true. And the time he came, the population on the earth was not as much as now. The problems on the earth were not as much as now. So if you stand where he was standing, you do greater things. You see, you are being a channel to express the truth. Listen to the statement that Christ made. I of myself can do nothing, but the Father in me, he does everything. You see, it's only spirit. But when the definition with the body, that I, with the name Jesus, I, you see the body right now here, you define me from as a Jew or as a this or that. That I can do nothing. But the true I, which is a grace spirit, can do everything through me. Are you getting it? So, a whole lot will be revealed to you, but it depends on how receptivity will be going on within you as well. It is not accident, it's not chance that has brought you here, but some yearning in your spirit, all the way from past lives. So this drama is giving you a chance that you have these aspirations deep inside you. This is an opportunity for you. So that's why you are here. It's not happening anyhow. So in the drama, it is inside that such persons will be together today. That's why we are here. Out there, there are some too who are quite close to getting onto the path, and you look for them. If you find that certain people are not ready, don't strain yourself by all means. It's like a fruit. You don't kick the fruit to ripen. You ripen. I'm hungry, I want to eat. Just ripen. No. You see? So don't go through long arguments here and there. But gradually, you'll be surprised. This happened sometime. That was in Takoradi. There's one musician. He was a popular musician that time. And he came and given the principles to follow, to transform, and have expression of the inner. He was doing it, and the wife couldn't understand anything, and it's like, what is all this? You are changing your diet, you're doing this and that. Of course, it's not a matter of diet issue, it's something inner. But sometimes we adjust ourselves externally as well. Just because you use the vehicle to do service. It's an equipment. You are different from it, but you need it for longer service. So anything which disturbs it, you check it and you keep some things off. It doesn't mean doing those things makes you more spiritual. Spirit is not. Otherwise, the goats and others which eat vegetables, they will be very spiritual. You see, sometimes even people become proud. I'm vegetarian. But the truth of the matter is, the only understanding is that you are grooming your equipment for service. But it's not that it is the actual thing that makes you spiritual. No. Because your spirit is different and the equipment is different. The only thing is you come to a certain realization that you are not the equipment. You are there and the equipment is different. Once you reach that state, then there's no confusion. You use your equipment. And if you are using it and you see that the equipment has certain shortcomings, you adjust the equipment, isn't it? It's a blunt tool, you sharpen it. So we do things with the body just for service sake. But the idea like that is what is making you spiritual is it should also be taken off. That is the reason why the Christ was saying, not what goes inside, but these emotional energies which are loitering in your aura, which has to come out. Because that is binding your spirit to the equipment. So if you release it, you are losing it. Are you with me? So is those things inside, one has to know how to release them. But what is going inside is just because you will still use the body for service. So put things which are not poisonous or things that are not harmful and other things so that the equipment can function very well for longer. That's all. Beloved brothers and sisters. Yeah, please, what says time now? Wow. Well, originally we were to have some technique and questions and all that, but the breakfast delayed, so it entered into our time. We booked the place up to midday, though the owner is quite understanding and favorable. But that doesn't also mean we take advantage too much. Some of the questions might be preserved so that tomorrow, when we get the breakfast early enough, we follow the time correctly, then we can have a period of about an hour for questions. Keep the questions. Always keep some notes. Anything which you hear and it gives you a deep feeling of acceptance that yes, when you do that, you don't remain the same. Something happens. Some emotional energy flies off. Some ignorance flies off. Some doubt flies off. So when these things are getting released from you, you are not remaining the same. The burden on you becomes lighter and lighter. The addiction is loosening. Are you with me? When you go out there rendering service, everywhere you go, you find those who are fully addicted, the sleeping souls. Some will behave contrary to what you present. But that doesn't make what you present to become untruth. Truth is truth eternally. If the Great Spirit wants the truth to manifest, He gives you a chance to be a channel. If you fail, He puts another, because his will will never go unfulfilled. Even when there isn't another ready, sometimes He make a descent from high. That is why certain souls who are compassionate and they are in the atmosphere and they are trying to see how to help this situation, they are hovering around. It's just like when football game is going on and they have those on the reserve bench. So they get a chance, they are coming to do the service. If you don't play the game well, somebody is brought in. And again, because their will must be fulfilled no matter what. So it's a period you are given a chance. And pick it up. And it is not like material something where what you are doing is benefiting somebody. This one is benefiting yourself. Are you with me? Growth. You are growing in understanding. You are growing in aura. You are growing. Your spirit is expressing itself more and more. Your peace will increase. So when you are doing it, it's like eating. Somebody cannot eat for you. You eat for yourself. So in material setups, everything going on is for the benefit of somebody. And if the person shows you mercy or does something, then you take it like that. Some too will not do anything for you. But this is where you have to know the opportunity given you here is not for adoring me here. If somebody is a messenger, he brings you something, you thank the messenger. That is all right, isn't it? But it's the thing he has brought you. After thanking him, take the thing and now open it and see what you can do with it. Isn't it? But if the messenger will become obsessed with him, and the message, the thing he brought you, we put it aside and, hey, messenger, you are wonderful. You see? We need to go beyond it. Appreciation is good. We need to. But we need to understand certain things, that what is coming from the messenger. That is where the deviation started. The attention went on the giver, the messenger, and they forgot the message. They belittled the message. See, they belittled the message. Yeah. So it is 12 now. Beloved brothers and sisters, I thank you for coming.